My dad used to tell my brothers and I about this thing that he did called Operation Snowstorm, where he would fly over these villages and throw out tracts, even while people were shooting at the plane, just to try and make sure people knew about Jesus.
I think back of coming to this country with a civil war, no funding, no support, and really no idea of how to be a missionary or even a church leader.
My dad used to drive a motorbike from home to home preaching the gospel, and then he started a church.
Every Sunday, we need to tear up, tear down, clean the facility, clean out after people who've had a party the previous night.
For 20 years they did that. I think I was like 2 years old at the time.
My dad got this vision from God, how he could not shoot a cannon from a canoe. And if we were to take the gospel of reformation, the gospel of a whole changed life to the surrounding nations, we couldn't do it from just a small little place. We had to build a beacon of hope, because that's a testament to what we see our God as. People writing articles about him like he was this madman, because why would a place like Zimbabwe need such a big building? We're not going to fill it.
The economy was sliding. There was real nervousness in households as to what the Zim dollar was doing, was losing strength. That began to really affect the final push in terms of the finishings of the building.
We didn't even know how to fundraise. It was the people in the local church that grew in their faith to build. And as the church grew, we had bankers and entrepreneurs and businessmen and artists that grew up with the church.
Getting the land and then building the actual church took 14 years. Nothing made sense. And why would we start to build a building when everyone else was leaving the country? And I just remember my dad's perseverance. He would look over the land and say, do you see what I see? Do you see this building? Do you see this church as a symbol of hope?
We're not only building buildings, but we're involved in changing people's lives. We want to help people build their dreams.
We filled the auditorium on the first Sunday, and then it was time to plant new churches.
In the seasons where we've had to go and set up churches in different cities, in different towns, in different nations, the music has always gone first. And Pastor Bonnie and Celebration Choir have been the tip of the spear. And so we really believe that we're firmly working alongside the Word, and we're causing the kingdom to be established here on earth. That has changed my life phenomenally.
The music of our church is written from a place of, we don't really know what's going to happen. And so God, we're totally reliant on you. And that's how the people praise. That's how our church members worship. And it's impacted thousands of people across Africa to places where they get on their knees and they say, there's no other way that we can live. There's no other way that we can survive. There's no other ways that we can get hope except when we're on our knees in worship. And so worship plays a huge part in what we do.
As soon as I walked into Celebration Centre at Borrowdale, I was blown away. I've never experienced anything like that. And from that day on, I says, no, it's all about God. I'm putting God first.
We knew that the church couldn't just stay within the four walls and help each other. There was way too much that needed to be done.
We started planting cell groups, little groups of people within different suburbs. It just began to explode.
And what seems to be a negative has turned out to be a huge opportunity for the church to be this amazing bright light for the people in our communities, because they're going and they're saying, somehow the church still has this message of hope and this calling that's not based on what we see around us, but it's based on the Word of God. It's based on a deeper hope and a bigger destiny.